All right, here we go. You're watching the 49ers Report by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Senior. Appreciate all of you and the faithful for making today's show a part of your day. On the docket for today's show, we're talking about Jimmy Garoppolo. Could he get cut? Alber Breer shed some light on all of this Trey Lance drama. We'll also take a look at the 49ers opponents, home and away for the 2022 season ahead of the official schedule release, which is coming your way on Thursday. Of course, we have you covered right here on the channel. That's why you subscribe. We first start off with Jimmy Garoppolo. And is it realistic that San Francisco, after failing to trade him, could actually cut him? As we know up to this point, it is well known that his cap hit in 2022 is nearly $27 million, which is prohibitive for the Niners as they try to build this roster, but he is entering the final year of his deal. So if he were to come back to the Niners, it's not like that cap number would affect this team in 2023 and beyond. So Bleacher Report put together a list of the best players on all teams in the National Football League who are possibilities to get cut over the next couple of weeks and months. Now, according to ESPN, and we talked about this on Monday, the 49ers did try to trade away Jimmy Garoppolo after their NFC Championship game loss to the Los Angeles Rams. But the shoulder surgery that he had to undergo, in addition to all of the quarterback movement, impacted his trade value, in addition to the 49ers, in my opinion, overplaying their hands to a certain degree. I thought that they thought that there was going to be more of a market for a Garoppolo trade. But also in that ESPN report, they said that the 49ers will swing once again before training camp to try to maneuver yet another Jimmy Garoppolo trade. Maybe this time they'll be successful. If they're not, though, could Garoppolo then be cut? Because it seems as though San Francisco gonna move forward with Trey Lance, the number 3 pick in the 2021 NFL Draft. Here's what Bleacher Report had to say about the possibility of cutting Garoppolo outright. Unlike the Cleveland Browns, who could cut Baker Mayfield and not save a dime due to Mayfield's fully guaranteed 5th-year option, the Niners would save a massive amount of space that they could roll over to next year by cutting Garoppolo and that big cap number, and all of that money would, of course, be saved. The 49ers are simply waiting to see if they can shed that salary in return for an asset. The worst case for the 49ers is potential trade partners remain concerned about Garoppolo's surgically repaired shoulder, and they end up cutting him. Losing out on a day 2 draft pick, a possible return for Garoppolo, would certainly sting, but the money saved is more important. Lastly, keeping Garoppolo as a backup to Trey Lance for 2022 would be an incredible misuse of money. Why is it a misuse of money? Because he's due nearly $27 million. Nick Bosa has to get paid, so too does Deebo Samuel. As we continue to unpack all of this on Jimmy Garoppolo, Trey Lance coming up, trivia question coming up as well. What's the most likely scenario for Jimmy G? Let me know in the comment section, and I want to hear from all of you because I'm going to go back in and I'm going to respond to everybody that I can. C for cut, T for trade, K for keep, predict the future of Garoppolo. Now, still to come on today's show, we'll get to more on Jimmy Garoppolo. Is Trey Lance ready? Alber Breer said some great things on the Rich Eisen Show. Richard Sherman saying that he thinks that Garoppolo is actually going to be back as a very expensive backup quarterback next year. And we'll take a look at the 2022 opponents for San Francisco. First, though, I have a trivia question. And later on today's show, I will reveal the answer. So Bill Walsh was hired by the Niners in 1979, coming to the Bay Area from Stanford, where he, of course, was very, very successful. Here's the question, though. In what year did Walsh lead the Niners to the first Super Bowl in the franchise's history, and who did the Niners beat in that game? Get your guesses in right now. I'll reveal the answer coming up in a few minutes. Garoppolo, the player. We know that he's not a crazy, ridiculous athlete. He doesn't have a bazooka or a cannon for an arm. He doesn't have mobility like Trey Lance, and he doesn't do anything stupid from the athletic side of things. But this guy is a bona fide winner. This guy has won about 70% of his starts in the Bay Area. He's helped turn the Niners around after a couple of really rocky years with Jim Tom Sula as well as Chip Kelly. And he's revered by players in this locker room. And he was very clutch, in my opinion, at the end of games and in the 2-minute drill last year, even though in some of those matchups, he did turn the football over in a very costly manner. But you look at what he did for the Niners the last 4 years, and of course, injuries are a big part of the problem with Jimmy G, but when he's been healthy, like in 2019, when he completed nearly 70% of his passes, 69 to be exact, nice. 4,000 yards, 27 touchdowns, and 13 picks. And he was once again healthy in 2021 as he only missed one game and battled through a lot of injury issues. The numbers in 2021, very similar to what he did in 2019. So a team that acquires Garoppolo knows that they have to be in a win-now mode because he's not going to do anything to really improve your chances if he doesn't have a good complementary cast. And he's going to be willing to be the face of your franchise and be that leader at the quarterback position. Updated Jimmy Garoppolo trade destinations. Yes, the list has certainly dwindled down over time because of all of the quarterback movement and the NFL draft taking place, but I still can envision a scenario in which any of these teams to my right, 5 of them to be exact, make a play or make a call for a Garoppolo trade. Carolina Panthers, Matt Corral, Sam Darnold on the roster. Seattle Seahawks, is Drew Lock really going to be the starter in Seattle, taking over for Russell Wilson? That's wild if that's the case. The Houston Texans, is Davis Mills the guy? Still certainly some question marks there. New York Jets, of course they have Zach Wilson, but could Garoppolo be a backup quarterback? A viable option, of course. Very expensive, though. And then the New England Patriots. You team Garoppolo back up with Bill Belichick. If Mac Jones ain't that dude, maybe Garoppolo finds a way to make his way back to Foxborough and he ends up being the future quarterback of the New England Patriots like they had envisioned before Tom Brady defied Father Time and is still playing at the ripe age for him of 44 years old going on 45. So where does Jimmy G rank among all NFL starting quarterbacks? Because last year he was a starting quarterback in the league. So rank him from 1 to 32. 1 the best, 32 the worst. He's right, in my opinion, in that, let's say 12 to 16 range. If you disagree with me, it's all good. Just let me know in the comment section. Now, don't go anywhere because really, we're just getting started on today's show. Latest on Trey Lance from Alber Breer. Schedule nuggets. We'll take a look at who the Niners are set to play on their home and away slates, and also the reveal to that trivia question coming up in just a few moments. But first, another really exciting announcement for the 3rd time, and moving forward, we're going to be going live on Call-In once a week. We'll be going live on Wednesday, taking all of your calls, talking all things 49ers. The show starts at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. The link for the show is available in the comment section and the description. When you plug in that link at the bottom of your screen, chatsports.com/49ers call-in, make sure you subscribe to the 49ers Report so that you can join me for our interactive podcast that's like Twitter Spaces, but even better. We also have some work to do. We're getting our asses kicked right now by my boy Harrison Graham and Chicago Bears Now. We are the only 2 channels under the Chat Sports umbrella that's doing call-in shows because call-in believes that the 49ers Report can be successful, but we have some work to do. Bears Now, 172 subscribers. Niners Report, only 52. Plug in that link, download the app, subscribe to the channel, and join us tomorrow, 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. I also have a specific invitation to some of our most loyal subscribers and our Super Commenter Club. All of these people on your screen are very active. They comment frequently. They interact with me, and they watch all of our shows because we look at the hashtag analytics. You are all invited to join us tomorrow. BK from the Bay, Everardo Rodriguez, Quinn Price, Stanley from Hawaii. Shout out to you for tuning in all the way from Hawaii. My homie Drako Pimpin, Birdman Drug Stories, Wetnoodle 187, George Garcia, Ruben Bocanegra, a.k.a. the Super Chat King, Taylor Bean, and my boy Noah GQ Pena. Not on that list, but is a super commenter. All of you invited to join us on Call-In tomorrow, 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. The link for the show available right now in the comment section. Next up on the docket, Alber Breer shedding some light on what the 49ers coaching staff actually thinks about Trey Lance, contrary to what we talked about on Monday with what Matt Lombardo of Fansided had to say about Lance, and the 49ers coaching staff being, quote, underwhelmed by Lance, which I had to call out because it didn't make any sense at all. That video up on the channel right now, as well as on my Twitter page at Chase_Senior. So Alber Breer was on the Rich Eisen Show, and here's what he said when he was asked about Lance. Also said that the Niners are hoping to bring Deebo Samuel back. That's really the indication right now. But anyway, on Lance, Breer said this: "The more I sniffed around over the last 3 or 4 months, my belief is that they feel confident, the Niners do, that they can put Trey Lance out there and he can start. Can he run Kyle Shanahan's offense, though? The full breadth of Kyle Shanahan's offense? That's the question. And then it's how much. If he can't run the whole thing, how much do they have to adjust?" And remember, Kyle went through that with Robert Griffin III all those years ago when RG3 won Rookie of the Year in Washington, when they basically imported the Baylor offense, and he won Rookie of the Year. So it's not like Kyle cannot do that. So I think there's going to be that kind of push and pull in building an offense, and that's why I think it's important to gain clarity through this spring, because you might be building an offense that looks a little different to make it work for Trey Lance so that he can grow through it and grow through the process that every young quarterback goes through. So eventually he can get back to running that sort of offense. And it's crazy to me, right? Because I think in Lance's 2 starts last year, those who actually watched the game, went back and watched the All-22. You watched the film. You saw the growth take place from Trey Lance. And this is one of those arguments. All of these things can be true at the same time. Lance has tantalizing ability. He's 6'4", 225 pounds with a bazooka for an arm. But does he need to improve his accuracy? Yes. What I do like about him, has a good pocket feel and good pocket awareness when the pocket collapses around him. He has the tendency to climb in the pocket and also have a feeling where he doesn't revert his eyes down and look to run. He looks to throw the football. He certainly would benefit from getting reps all throughout this offseason, in OTAs, in training camp, as well as in the preseason, because he certainly needs them, because right now Trey Lance is a little green and he needs development. But this, folks, sit down. This might shock you. It shouldn't come as a surprise. The guy was drafted when he was 20 years old. He played 1 game in 2021, only 1 full season in 2020. So it shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody that Lance needs development. Yesterday on Monday, my man turned 22 years old. He was at the Chase Center watching the Golden State Warriors push to a 3-1 lead over the Memphis Grizzlies. He's young. He's the youngest quarterback in the National Football League, so exercise patience. The ability is there, and I have trust in Kyle Shanahan that he's going to extract the best ability in Trey Lance. All these things can be true at the same time. He has a lot of ability, but he needs some work, and at the end of the day, that is okay. So what is your level of confidence in Lance? For me, it's high. In my last mock draft in 2021, I had the Niners taking him at number 3. That rang true. So I like the quarterback. I like the quarterback prospect. I like his ability. If you're with me, type H for high. If you disagree, that's all good in the hood, G. Type L for low. The reveal to the trivia question. Here it is. So Bill Walsh, hired as head coach of the San Francisco 49ers in 1979, and it didn't take him long to bring a Lombardi trophy back to the Bay Area, the franchise's first. And since then, 5 titles, that's second in the NFL, behind the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New England Patriots. But the answer to the trivia question, the 49ers won their first Super Bowl during the 81 season, and who did they beat? Cincinnati Bengals by a final score of 26-21 in Super Bowl 15. Joe Montana was named the MVP all the way back in 1981 after just a couple of years after Bill Walsh was named the head coach of this franchise. Then they became immediately one of the most iconic brands in all of sports. The Gold Rush era was epic. For those of you who answered that trivia question right, good job by you. If you didn't get it right, it's fine. Thank you for commenting. Also, this is why you subscribe to the channel. Nobody does audience interaction better. Nobody brings you better news and rumors and breaking news and more consistent coverage. The road to 60,000 subs is on and popping. We grind, we hustle for all of you, the faithful. So show us that love back and make sure you subscribe to the channel by hitting that red sub button. So the NFL schedule release officially on Thursday. Again, you got to subscribe to the channel. We'll have a video out as soon as possible after the Niners schedule is released. Up to this point, we're not sure when the games are going to take place. We do know the opponents. Home opponents for the Niners: Los Angeles Rams, Arizona Cardinals, Seattle Seahawks, Kansas City Chiefs, Los Angeles Chargers, Miami Dolphins, New Orleans Saints, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Washington Commanders. 9 total home games, which is awesome. You know why? Because they actually get an edge with their away schedule because they have to go on the road to take on the Arizona Cardinals, but that game is in Mexico, going to be a primetime game on, I believe, November 21st. Away opponents, Rams, Cardinals, Seahawks, the divisional games, of course, but you don't have to go to Arizona. You play in Mexico, which honestly could be a Niners home game, even though it is a home game technically for the Cardinals. Carolina Panthers, Chicago Bears, Denver Broncos, and Las Vegas Raiders. Faithful to the Bay, Niners always have been, Raiders never were. That is going to be a great rivalry game in Las Vegas. So with that, ahead of the official release of the schedule on Thursday, I want your season predictions in the comment section right now. How many games will the Niners win in 2022? I'm saying 10. You let me know, and thanks for watching today's show.